Dude, if you gambled, let me just say, well, no, I just started, so let me just say that fucking if you gamble, I know what your addiction is. These gamblers are wizards. You know, they fuck around with this weird alchemy of numbers, chance, um, just basic spell crap, dude. Okay, that's why women like to gamble probably even more than men. And they do this witchy shit, and it's an intense fucking high. I know that. I don't fuck with it. That's why I want to smoke crack these days, because I don't want to become a gambler. My father was an intense gambler. But I cannot lie when I tell you that we broke, my family always broke even. It was good like that. But it was not a good, I don't know. It was hard to grow up with a gambler. It was so fucking hard. He was not a degenerate gambler. Uh, no, it was in his blood like it is me, but I don't fuck with it. I should be horse racing. I should be doing all this shit. And I'm thinking about doing it before I die. And cards, anything. They used to, you know what's real creepy is they used to say shit about John Gotti. About John Gotti would bet on 2 cockroaches racing up a wall. And that to me is fucking creepy as fuck, because that's what my mother used to say about my father. He would bet, and but he was like me. He was a good loser, but it really affects your demeanor because you crash hard from those highs, and it's almost like the gambler wants to lose, and he does. He's a bit of a masochist. And he's never satisfied. A gambler's never, ever. It's never enough. It's like Johnny Thunder said, it's not enough. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. And it seems like it comes down from father to son, from grandfather to father to son. And that's what it's been in my case. And these gamblers can hold a grudge till they're fucking dead. And they do. I know what it's like. And it's just, and you can fuck with gambling so much. You can get into it like a fucking songwriter. You can get into it down, you're always looking for a way always looking for an edge to make the money. But either way, you don't mind. Gambler, as long as you can afford it, but I grew up in a house with it's fucked up, people. I grew up in a house with pictures on the wall of rock stars, gangsters, and horses, and all these weird horses I've never heard of running certain derbies in 1956. This one ran in 1960. This horse ran in 1961 and almost won, but I'm worshiping this horse for some weird fucking reason. And you see that? That was my father's horse. He'd be like... telling that to a 5-year-old, I'm like, so? So, yeah, but this horse ran in the Derby in 58, and he almost won. And and since he came in on the fucking trifecta, I was able to break even, but this horse really carried me through. And it's not even funny, because it's true. It's like I'm saying, if you play certain records for me at a certain time, I get into that mode. I'm like, this record carried me through it all, and it did. But yeah, no, growing up with pictures of jockeys on the wall and fucking and shit like that, and you know what I'm saying? It's just a weird way to grow up. You see this guy? It's like, what? Yeah, so what? You also got John Lennon here. I don't understand the fucking difference. But it was like that. It was so hardcore. Like I told you, back then, you had to have 2 phone lines. You were kind of rich in my day. You were, yeah. And we had 3 of them. And my father he got 2 extra for himself, and he would monopolize the 2 phones. And And then I don't know when it got to when the heat was on and shit, he had to absorb my phone. I'd be on the phone with my girlfriend. He would pick up the phone and excoriate me. You motherfucker, get off this phone! It's fucking 12 o'clock. They're fucking racing at fucking. There's a fucking Yonkers race. You cocksucker, hang up. He would do that. Or if you walked in front of the TV, wow. My kind of house was you walked in the living room and there was 2 floor model TVs stacked on top of one another. And then on top of those were little GE black and whites with rabbit ears and filters coming off them and they're off. And it was like 12 different fucking races. And he'd be down at OTB. And then he'd be playing baseball at night, betting on his own team. It was insane. Highest earner. It's fucking insane. And it's never enough for them. You know? I miss it, though. And then in the background, you'd be hearing AM radio baseball games. There'd be some shit on, you know? He'd have me go down and pay these people and do weird bookie shit that I didn't realize I was doing. Here, bring this money to this guy and tell him the line. It's like, what? I remember the first time he asked me that. Tell him the line? I don't know the fucking line. Well, go down to OTB first and do this. I'm like, you need more detailed instructions. I'm not like you. I don't know what the fuck you do down here. I miss my father. He was the best. Really was. He was the best.